But because this is private property, you cannot do it.
Why is that?
Because you can't. It's registered, but I'm not going into it. But you can't take videos of the company and the product that we send out.
Of course I can. Here,
No,
can
you
I just tell
can't.
you one more
It's
thing?
private property, you can't.
I'm about to fly a drone over and get some aerial shots.
No.
I'm definitely going to do that now.
So we can't allow any full filming of our site because of the nature of what we do. We're a pharmaceutical factory. We're Home Office registered with the licences. Security is the utmost.
I've just spoke to this lady here. She said the same thing. What prevents me from doing that?
I could think that you're scoping our site out to burglars.
Oh yeah, you could think anything, couldn't you? Really, you could think anything, really, couldn't you? You could think, yeah.
You could, pal. I mean, I don't want to fall out of it, but I mean, listen. How about? But if I call the police and get their thoughts on it and see what they think.
Just because a pharmaceutical factory is registered with the Home Office does not mean people are banned from filming it from a public place. In the UK, only certain locations, such as military bases, nuclear facilities, or sites protected under the Official Secrets Act, have special legal restrictions. A private pharmaceutical company does not fall into that category. Many businesses use official-sounding claims to make people believe filming is illegal, but public photography laws still apply.
But when you call the police, what are you going to do? Are you going to just like dial 999 or something like that?
I'm going to call the police and just say, look.
On what number?
I don't know yet.
Alright, okay. Yeah,
I'll have a bit and just say, look.
I'll be gone by the time they get here though, if you ring like 101 or whatever, and you can't dial 999, can you?
You can't send a drone over our site and have them film our site.
Why?
Because it's against our security policy.
Oh, yeah, your policy though, not law. It's not against the law, is it?
That's fine, but I don't know what the laws or drones are, but I would be fairly confident to think that surely it's not right to bring a drone onto private property and start filming our site. What if that drone landed on someone and hurt them? Just from a safety standpoint.
Yeah.
You know, what if there's a wagon, what if it distracts someone and they get injured? It's just, I can't. It's not right. Surely it can't be right. I can't say it's not legal because I don't know the law, but that's why I want to check with the police. I want to get their steer on it. But for me, can you stop what you're doing at the moment just whilst I find out from the police?
The manager admits he doesn't know the drone laws, yet he still argues that flying a drone is unsafe. He says the drone could fall, injure someone, or distract a worker and cause an accident. However, these are only possible scenarios and do not give anyone the legal right to stop the auditor, especially since the drone has not even taken off. The CAA already has rules in place to make drone flying safe. If drones were banned simply because something might happen, no one would ever be allowed to fly one. As long as there are no official airspace restrictions and the pilot follows the rules, there is no legal reason to stop the flight.
Can't have people filming our site because it's going to jeopardise our security. Somebody could look at that footage and scope out our entire site and look at how the best way to burglars is.
Do they not do that with Google Maps?
No.
Why?
Because you're going to a much further detail. Yes, they could, but you're on about flying a drone in and going to full detail of our site.
Oh, I didn't say full detail. It's just a drone show. I'll be quite high up. I'm not going to be looking for. I won't be looking for your windows or anything like that. I'll probably be about 40 meters or more up in there.
This is an important point because UK drone laws already control where and how drones can be flown to protect both safety and privacy. Drones weighing less than 250 grams, like the one used by the Auditor, can legally fly closer to people and buildings than heavier drones. Even so, they must always be operated safely and must not put anyone or any property at risk. The maximum legal flight height in the UK is 120 meters, and the Auditor is flying at only 40 meters, which is well within the legal limit. Soon after, the police arrive and immediately show a poor attitude toward the Auditor.
I'm here, I'm just flying my drone, I'm just doing a bit of filming out in public, and that's it really, that's all you need to know.
Well, do you mind giving us your details?
My details?
Yes, your details.
I'd rather not.
Well, that's not the answer to the question that I asked though, is it? Would you mind, as in, are you going to, or are you going to refuse?
It depends what section of the law you're using when you request those.
I'm not using any section of the law.
Yeah, I'd rather not then, you know, that's...
Why, do you think that you're guilty of committing a criminal offence? Because if you do, then I've got power to demand that you give me your name.
Do I think I'm... No, it's the other way around.
Skirting around legislation, then why wouldn't you give your name?
If there is no legal reason to demand someone's personal details, then the request is simply intimidation. Police officers cannot require a person to give their name unless certain legal conditions apply, such as reasonable suspicion of a crime, issuing a penalty notice, or dealing with antisocial behavior. The officer even admits he has no legal authority to demand the auditor's details, proving that this is pressure rather than proper policing. To make matters worse, his aggressive attitude from the very beginning shows no professionalism or respect for the auditor's rights.
I'm just out here doing illegal activity.
Doing illegal?
No, doing illegal activity. I'm just out here doing illegal activity, and that's it. I'm not breaking any laws and stuff, so I don't need to give you my details. So I'm not going to give you my details unless you use a section of the law that requires me to provide those details.
The way that I do my job is that I am well aware of my duty to the public. I want to speak to people in a conversational manner that will hopefully get a situation.
You're contradicting yourself though now.
How am I contradicting myself?
You said you're aware of all this kind of stuff. You're not. You walked up to me without even identifying. You're supposed to identify as soon as you go to practice.
I'm supposed to identify myself when I drive past you in my vehicle?
Yeah. You're supposed to walk up to me and say, "Hello, sir. My name is PC."
I don't have to call you sir.
The auditor correctly points out that the officer failed to identify himself when approaching him. Police officers are expected to identify themselves when dealing with members of the public, especially when making requests or giving instructions. Instead of admitting his mistake, the officer responds with, "I don't have to call you sir." While that may be true, it completely misses the point. This isn't about using the word sir. It's about treating people with professionalism, respect, and basic courtesy. The officer's behavior reflects poor policing and creates unnecessary hostility.
You don't have to be polite, wouldn't it?
So we're giving you details to us.
I don't understand what your issue is. I'm confused.
You carry on with what you were going to say anyway.
Yeah, what we were saying is that we've come here because someone's called us.
Okay.
You are seemingly doing this because you've got a lot of free time, and they are at work, worried that what you are recording won't necessarily be for a means that they are happy with. So your footage, if it's basically published on the internet or something similar, could get into the hands of anybody that was wanting to use that footage for good or bad purposes. They manufacture pharmaceuticals at this site. Okay, so it's quite a sensitive business.
The officer now claims that filming should be restricted because the site manufactures pharmaceuticals. However, this argument has no legal basis. There is no law that stops people from filming a business simply because it considers itself sensitive. Instead of enforcing the law, the officer appears to be enforcing the company's wishes. This is a privately owned pharmaceutical factory, and the same public photography laws apply here as they do to any other industrial site. Being a pharmaceutical company does not give it special control over public spaces or the airspace above them. The officer's comments only highlight his misunderstanding of the law.
You're not flying it over the plum centre, are you? You're not flying it over there. You're flying it over what is, in this vicinity, the most sensitive building that you could have chosen. So,
don't get too
goes
close.
back to my question.
Yeah, go on.
Why have you done that?
No.
Oh, well, I'm just doing the drone show.
Yeah, I'm doing a drone show. I chose a building today. Why would I do a drone show over a plumbing business that's like this? That's tiny. It'd take me 4 seconds. It'd take me 2 seconds to fly over that plumbing's place, and it wouldn't produce such a good drone show, would it? That's your answer to that, isn't it?
I don't know who's plugging into your drone.
Yeah. I just think.
If you wanted to go on Google Maps, you can see what's on that.
The officer then becomes sarcastic after the auditor explains that he is filming for his drone channel. Instead of staying professional, he makes an unnecessary comment to mock the auditor. This shows that he is more interested in provoking a reaction than handling the situation fairly. Ironically, the officer also admits that anyone can view the site on Google Maps. That completely weakens his earlier claim that the location is too sensitive to be filmed. If detailed satellite images are already publicly available, it makes little sense to object to a legally operated drone flying within the law.
I know, yeah, that's the whole point of it, isn't it? You can see it on Google Maps, so why are they bothered about somebody flying a drone over?
Well, whether or not they're bothered or not, you don't have to be here, do you? You've chosen to be. They come to work because they're employed here. So you've taken time out of your schedule to come here to seemingly antagonise people.
No, not seemingly antagonise people. You're Mr. Obvious, you're just quoting obvious things.
I'm just asking you for your name. It's a very simple question. I can't demand your name.
Yeah, exactly.
What I'm saying to you is, if you know the answer to questions, don't ask them. And if you know why you don't have to give you your name, just decline. But don't get caught up in this, well, do you think I've committed a crime? I'm asking you if you can give me your name. That's all I'm asking you to do.
But you're saying obvious things that mean nothing. You've come out here and you're talking about stuff. You're saying, you've chosen to do this, you've chosen to do that. Does that, what business of that is yours?
The officer asks for the auditor's name again, even though he has already refused to provide it. At this point, it becomes clear that the officer knows he has no legal power to demand those details, but continues asking in the hope that the auditor will eventually give in. Since the officer cannot point to any law that requires the auditor to identify himself, there is no legal basis for the request. If giving his name were actually required by law, the officer would have enforced it immediately instead of repeatedly asking. This repeated pressure gives the impression of an attempt to intimidate rather than enforce the law.